suddenly hard against a sharp elbow of rock. When she looked down, she could see a bit of dark blood streaking her kneecap. Weirdly, she didn't feel any pain, and though everyone was still cheering and shouting, it sounded distant. Matt's words drowned out all the voices. "Look, it's just not working. There's something about her. We can still be friends." The air was cool. The wind had picked up, singing through the old trees, sending deep groans up from the woods. But she wasn't cold anymore. Her heart was beating hard in her throat. She found another handhold in the rock, braced her legs on the slick moss, lifted and levered as she'd watched the gamers do every summer since 8th grade. Dimly she was aware of Diggin's voice, distorted by the megaphone. "Late in the game! A new competitor!" But half his words got whipped away by the wind. Up, 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 ignoring the ache in her fingers and legs, trying to stick to the left side of the ridge where the rocks, driven hard at angles into one another, formed a wide and jutting lip of stone, easy to navigate. Suddenly, a dark shape, a person, rocketed past her. She almost slipped. At the last second, she worked her feet more firmly onto the narrow ledge, dug hard with her fingers to steady herself. A huge cheer went up, and Heather's first thought was, Natalie. But then Diggin boomed out, "And he's in! Ladies and gentlemen, Merle Tracy, our 32nd gamer, is in." Almost at the top now. She risked a glance behind her and saw a steep slope of jagged rock, the dark water breaking at the base of the ridge. It suddenly seemed a million miles away. For a second, the fog cleared from her head, the anger and the hurt were blown away, and she wanted to crawl back down the rock, back to the safety of the beach, where Bishop was waiting. They could go to Dot's for late-night waffles, extra butter, extra whipped cream. They could drive around with all the windows open, listening to the rising hum of the crickets, or sit together on the hood of his car and talk about nothing. But it was too late. Matt's voice came whispering back, and she kept climbing. No one knows who invented panic or when it first began. There are different theories. Some blame the shuttering of the paper factory, which overnight placed 40% of the adult population of Carp, New York, on unemployment. Mike Dickinson, who infamously got arrested for dealing on the very same night he was named prom king, and now changes brake pads at the Jiffy Lube on Route 22, likes to take credit. That's why he still goes to opening jump 7 years after graduating. None of these stories is correct, however. Panic began as so many things do in Carp, a poor town of 12,000 people in the middle of nowhere, because it was summer, and there was nothing else to do. The rules are simple. The day after graduation is opening jump, and the game goes all through summer. After the final challenge, the winner takes the pot. Everyone at Carp High pays into the pot, no exceptions. Fees are $1 a day for every day that school is in session, from September through June. People who refuse to pony up the cash receive reminders that go from gentle to persuasive. Vandalized lockers, shattered windows, shattered face. It's only fair. Anyone who wants to play has a chance to win. That's another rule. All seniors, but only seniors, are eligible and must announce their intention to compete by participating in the jump, the first of the challenges. Sometimes as many as 40 kids enter. There is only ever one winner. 2 judges plan the game, name the challenges, deliver instructions, award, and deduct points. They are selected by the judges of the previous year in strict secrecy. No one in the whole history of Panic has ever confessed to being one. There have been suspicions, of course, rumors and speculation. Carp is a small town and judges get paid. How did Myra Campbell, who always stole lunch from the school cafeteria because there was no food at home, suddenly afford her used Honda? She said an uncle had died. But no one had ever heard of Myra's uncle. No one really had ever thought about Myra until she came rolling in with the windows down, smoking a cigarette, with the sun so bright on the windshield it almost completely obscured the smile on her face. 2 judges, picked in secret, sworn to secrecy,